Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ohio State Postgame Live here at Ohio State, the voice of college football. We are your hosts, Garrison and Mike, and boy, oh boy.
Oh yeah.
I got on the phone with my boy Mike before we got on here, everybody, and the first thing I heard from Mike was lies were told, and boy, weren't they. Everybody, before we continue, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you would like to become a member of Ohio State, the Voice of College Football, please hit that join button where you can hit our tiers, which is the Block O Club. JT wasn't short because he wasn't, and we don't give a damn, and you know the rest. If you haven't already, also check out www.vocfb.com. You can also check out our writers who are awesome. We're here at the channel and at the network. Also, check out the schedule that we have here at the week. We can check out myself on Mondays, check out Mike and Terry on Wednesdays, and also the call-in show on Thursdays. Now let's get to it. Mike, I'm going to let you set the stage. I bought this a week in advance, and I think it's time that I do it now. Go ahead, my brother.
Well, before we go ahead and we get started, I already put a poll in our YouTube chat. If you are watching on Twitter, man, make sure you hit that like button. Hit that retweet button as well. It costs you nothing. But the poll that I put in the chat is, what is the grade for the Buckeyes? Is it an A? Is it a B plus? Do you give it a B or do you give it a C? What is the overall grade? Let us know in the comments and let us know in the chat, man.
So, Mike, the first half starts. Let's go quarter by quarter. First quarter starts. And we've talked about this, and we expected the offense. BH is the first time real play caller. Julian Sand's the first time quarterback. There's going to be some struggles here, but we knew, and some people were questioning our defense, specifically our defensive line, and that's where I want to start. What did you think about the defense, and what did you think about the offense there in the first quarter of the first half?
Man, I was loving the defense. Defense was getting us off the field. Guys were flying around the ball, and all of these, issues that I heard about Matt Patricia, it sounded like those were more lies, and what we were saying was more of the truth. So,
right,
I loved what I was seeing from the defense. Did you want to know I was the offensive side?
Oh, brother, I want to hear it all.
Yeah, and so also, I'll tell you this, what shocked me was Julian Sand coming out and being more comfortable and more poised than our wide receivers. Zone 6, the best in the country, man. And, normally those wide receivers, those starters, you would feel that they would get the young quarterback to be able to settle down in the game. But it seemed like it was Julian who had to do that. And shout out to him being a leader. And they said that he's been more vocal, more of a leader in the huddle, and we got to see that put on display.
And real quick, man, shout out to Chimdi Chekwa, Ohio State legend cornerback, showing up here in the chat, man. Glad to hear. He says A+ for week 1, fam. I agree. And a lot of that, and for me, I level my expectations. And when they asked Ryan Day, what are your expectations for Julian Sand? Win, baby, win. That's all he said. And damn it, Julian won. And, listen, I shout out to our guy Grim. I was in a space before we got in here, and I said, listen, I think this is a scary sight for the rest of the nation. You just saw Ryan Day win a game with 213 total yards.
Facts.
But in the first half, I really like what the defense did. Caden McDonald is the best defensive lineman on this team. He was a game wrecker. He pummeled the inside of that offensive line of Texas. Edric Houston.
I gotta find this clip. I'm
No,
going to
pull it
find
up,
this
pull it
clip.
up, pull it up.
I'm
And
going to
on
find this
top of
clip.
that, man, so I talked about this a week before the game, Mike. And by the way, everybody, we will be when we're done talking about the game, we will be letting everybody call up. Also, if you do super chats and have your comment come to the front, if you wants to answer it, talk about it, we will also do that for you. Also, of course, you don't have to do it. All we ask is that you hit that like button. That's all we ask for here. But Mike, I watched that game last year because Jermaine and Iggy were the main corners in that game against Texas last year, and Texas had a better wide receiver group. And we ran a lot of man that game. And I said, well, if those guys can't get open, well, what are these guys going to do?
Right.
If that's the case, then that front seven is going to be free. And I in Texas, that most of the game was over 4 yards to carry, but I thought that situationally, our run defense was great. I thought the edge play was great. My player of the game is Arvell Reese. I thought he was awesome out there. Jermaine Matthews. Everything we've been saying about him for 2 years now, Mike, is coming to fruition.
Facts.
I was there his freshman year live when he had that pick six, his freshman year, first game of the year for Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a top 100 recruit that season. And that boy, he deserves to wear number 7. He deserves to wear that number. Offensively, I truly liked what we did. And I think that a lot of people, with Brian Hartline being the OC, and we're going to go deeper and deeper in this as we talk, but just generalizing. I think a lot of people thought that he would go out there and just want to throw the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for a lot of that game, we were under 3 yards to carry. But what I loved about what BH did, he kept running the ball. He didn't give a damn. He was going to run that ball hell or high water. And I thought that towards the end of the game, we start to soften up the defensive line. I thought the D-line played actually really well today. I thought the running backs could have played a little bit better in terms of hitting the holes. I think during the season that will come along with it. But in pass coverage, they were awesome. We heard a lot of talk about Colin Simmons. Colin Simmons did a lot of talking himself.
Right.
I didn't hear his name.
Who? Who's you talking about? Who's that? I'm trying to understand. My bad. Everybody was talking about this guy, what he was going to do to Julian Sand, and is Julian Sand going to be rattled because of that and all of this stuff? But that's not what I saw. That's not what I saw. It seemed to be the other way around. Like guys like Arvell Reese, King out of Jackson, Sonny Styles, kind of had Arch under pressure, and everybody was putting all of this stuff on, Julian Sand because of Colin Simmons, and Colin Simmons wanted to go ahead and get cocky and all of that stuff, man. I mean, it does you no favors.
I thought a lot of things I talked about with Colin Simmons was that he was 240 pounds. And Ohio State, we've seen a lot of those guys, specifically at Penn State. And we can bring up last year, right? They had the best edge rusher in college football last season, in my opinion. And I look back at that last drive of the game, Mike, when we didn't pass one time. We were at the 2 or 3 yard line, and we ran the game out with 6 minutes left to go. I thought that. First off, shout out to Tyler Bowen. Premier hire. And I thought he did good. He's done a good job of putting the offensive lineman where they need to be. I thought he made the right decision and who he decided to put out there at offensive line. Oh, but you got the video, Mike? Put it up, Mike. Mike.
It's just, we tried to tell people about Cade McDonald, and the one thing that we saw from Cade McDonald when he was on double teams, he wasn't really being pushed back, man. He was holding his own, man. But I just wanted to show you guys, Texas guys, when they have to take on the double team. It just looked like they was pushing the sled, man. Am I wrong or am I right?
Was that Luke? Was that Luke and him? Man?
I don't know. Hold on. Let's check. Yeah. I mean, it's a beautiful sight to see, man. You know, there are some things that, you know, we could tweak in the run game, but I'll tell you this. I felt like the offense was very vanilla and the defense was very vanilla because one thing that we know is this team can attack, you know, people from multiple angles. So, again, if we see Texas down the road in the playoffs, right, I won't be worried about going into that game because I believe we will be a way much better team. And again, like Ryan Day said at the end of the game, I did not want to put a young quarterback in that position. He said, I felt that we could have, but it wasn't fair to Julian. Because I thought that I just thought that we were about to turn up and go CJ Stroud mode, but we didn't. I think it's coming, though. I think Washington might be the first team to feel that.
Yeah, and you know, early in the game when Max had dropped that ball, JJ was wide open, and I think that comes with, you know, just repetition. He's gonna see it more. We've seen a lot of guys. We've seen quarterbacks miss those throws. And by the way, shout out to Don B for the 199. He gives the eyeballs, man. I'm right with you, bro. Hey, some teams looking funny in the light.
It's hard not to get the lion, bro. Like, everybody told us that this was the best defense. No, I'm not taking anything away from Texas defense because I do believe that they are a good defense and is a good team. But I just felt like everybody all week just was discrediting what Ohio State is.
Yeah, man. Oh, and shout out to our boy Akron Rex, man. Reposted the stream. Appreciate you, brother. I really someone else I want to shout out, CJ Donaldson, because it looks like he is the RB1. He was the guy that Coach Locke trusted to put out there. He was running very hard. He hits the hole fast. Mike, you've talked about that plenty of times coming out of the spring game. You definitely pointed that out plenty of times. I mean, Mike, I'm gonna give you some flowers here. Another thing that you pointed out, and something that I have continuously talked about because of you, how athletic that offensive line is. You can see that in the pass game. Austin Sarabell. Now, you know, so I was in a Texas space not too long ago. By the way, I got a haircut this morning. It's a Buckeye Saturday, so I had to. You know, they were like, "Oh, well, you know, your guy has never played left tackle before," and I kept telling them, I said, "Well, you guys have no idea what being an Iron Buckeye is. You don't know what that means.
Yeah,
that means you are not just trusted by. You're trusted by your teammates. You're trusted by Mick, because in the springtime, you're not around the coaches. Those are the guys you're around. They see you as a leader. He's a captain. And that's why I think you've said the same thing. I have had no worries about Sarabell being a left tackle. He proved his worth. And again, because I was the same person that last year said I never wanted to see him play again. Austin Sarabell, I apologize. I apologize. You are a dog, a certified dog. What were your takes on the O-line, Mike?
And I also want to just give credit to you know, Tyler Bowen and also the other O-line coaches who were, you know, full-time O-line coaches somewhere else. Big shout out to them and what they were able to do. But also, I got to give a shout out to Justin Fry. I know y'all gonna hate me for that, but big shout out to Justin Fry, man, because he definitely deserves the praise. He went and he got these guys. He also molded these guys, got them ready, and they were able to go into this game with the confidence, man. You know, obviously there's some things that we have to clean up, but I know, and I see the grades out here in the chat, and I see a lot of people wanting to give B+. You know, Buckeye fans, I totally understand. We are harsh critics. You know, we know that there can be more. But in this first game, with a first-time starting quarterback, everything that we lost going up against the number one team in the country, how could this not be anything of a at least A, bro? The defense being dominant for majority of the game. And I'll say this, yeah, you know, we dropped a pass, we dropped passes and stuff. I believe that will be cleaned up. But for the most part, bro, do you not believe that this team could be even better than what it was? Imagine if we didn't have the drop passes, right? Imagine if, you know, and then I'll say this, another thing is these guys, even on the defensive side of the ball, you could tell that they were trying to communicate and we had to call timeouts because guys was misaligned. Same thing with Claire. You know, Julian's looking to throw him the ball. He's out there blocking. There's still some little things that we got to tighten up, but that's expected in the first game. So these things I'm not shocked about. It's still an A+. This is the first game. Have y'all not watched these other games? Have y'all not?
Yeah. And Mike, I think I tweeted this earlier. You know, I think people should remember in 2021 that all-time great Georgia team week 1 beat Clemson 10-7 on a defensive touchdown. Week one's not always going to look. It's week one. It's not always going to be pretty. It can be very ugly. A lot of us expect it to be ugly. I mean, I won money today because I predicted the under. I think any smart person would have done that. I mean, there was one guy that said that Ohio State will go up 14-0, then lose the game 37-17. I'm like, bro, you're crazy. You're crazy.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, bro, there was a point in the game where at halftime, I felt like the game could have been 21-0.
I agree.
It really could have. I mean, but hey, it is what it is. And here's the thing. I also want to talk about Texas, right? Now, everybody went ahead and gave Sark grief for his calls on the goal line in the playoff game, right? But here's the thing. I remember Texas folks saying, oh, we should have had Arch in there or whatever, because this was before they knew he probably was concussed and everything. But Arch would have had that run ability that Quinn doesn't have and all of this stuff. He did what you Texas fans and what everybody has said he possibly should have did, run the ball in the red zone. You should have run. Why are you trying to throw? He did it. It didn't work because Ohio State continues to do what? Be a great fourth down team, bruh. And, I mean, the tape shows it. Everything continues to show it. But everybody want to say, I was in a group chat and guys were saying, oh, dumb play call by Sark. How is it a dumb play call by Sark?
I think a lot of people, and I pointed out like last year when he ran that sweep play, that pitch play on the goal line. And a lot of people call that a dumb play call, but I'm like, well, if you understand the fact that running up the middle has not worked on Ohio State all season, you understand the play call. Kind of like how the Wolverines, when they passed it on the goal line, you understand the play call. And by the way, it feels really good to know ain't shit changed. That goal line defense is still what it is. Nothing's changed. Can we talk about Matt Patricia for a second?
Oh, for sure.
So, you know, when he got to Columbus, I wasn't worried about him as a coach. I was more so worried about him just as a recruiter, as like a personable person. And at the time, you know, I told my old co-host, I said, you know, it does mean something to me that he's lost weight. He shaved the beard down. He smiles more. The hat is forward more than backward. Like, that meant something to me because I'm like, you can kind of take visual cues and see where someone is in their life or something, right? You know, a lot of people, they want to take credit away from him from those 3 Super Bowls, when in all reality, he's the less than 1% as a defensive coordinator. That's what he is. He's also he's an actual rocket scientist, but that's another conversation to have.
Facts.
But you know, but Mike, we've talked about, you know, those first pictures we saw with him and CJ Hicks early when they got there, how the players talk about him. And we've talked about Ryan Day and his hiring. He made the right hire. And I'm going to make a statement here that might sound crazy, but it is what it is. That's the most impressive defensive performance I've seen on Ohio State in the last 4 years.
Facts. You ain't don't. I mean, let me chime in here. I want to give a shout out to our guy Ross Fulton, man. He said this defensive scheme is way beyond what Nose was doing. And everybody continued to call us haters because of what we were saying, what this defense could look like under Matt Patricia. And that's not what we were doing. Nose is still a good defense, but this defense can be way better, and we seeing how it's way better. The coverage is way better. There's opportunities for turnovers. We saw it multiple times. Jermaine Matthews got one. Sonny Styles should have had one. Jermaine Matthews, matter of fact, Jermaine Matthews should have had about 2 or 3.
If he didn't turn around too early on that touchdown, that's a pick, bro. That's a pick.
Hold on, not even that. It was the one where him and McClain. If he hadn't turned around, that one was a pick as well. And then also the one that Sonny Styles dropped, that was McClain. I mean, that was not McClain. That was Jermaine Matthews breaking that up, bro. Like, that was his pick. He came right in front of the wide receiver. So I'm very excited. And this is exactly what we tried to say when we were sitting here telling guys, like, hey, this guy's ceiling is higher than the guy's ceiling that he was replacing. And this was no dig to the previous national championship Buckeyes, bro. But it's just the facts. It is what it is. And Garrison, I know you remember me saying this back in 2024 preseason. I said 2025 will be the year of the Twitch monsters. And I believe you saw it.
Yeah, well, Mike, first off, Mike, something you said a long time ago, you said because of Matt Patricia and because of what this defense can be, you did say about probably 5-6 months ago, this defense is going to force more turnovers. I think that's going to remain true. I think that these guys are going to be ball hogs. By the way, I saw someone earlier said, did I star it? I don't think I did. They talked about Iggy. No holding calls, no PIs, just locking dudes up, making tackles. Because I think Ohio State has 2 first-round corners. I really believe that, and
we'll see as the season goes.
We'll see as the season goes on.
Yeah, we'll see as the season goes on. That was a good performance, and then now they got to take this and build on it, right? Don't go in, we beat the number 1 team and we get complacent. No, realize there's things to fix. And as long as you're doing that and putting in that extra time, you will be fine. But that's the key. Still putting in that extra time, working on those skill sets. But speaking of the defense, where are the CJ Hicks haters? Where are the CJ Hicks haters? He damn near helped us close the game out. I think next time he might go ahead and just sling the QB on the ground, but he was trying not to get a penalty. He should have just slung him, but he was trying not to get a penalty. But shout out to CJ Hicks, man. It was good to just see him be able to get after the passer. And it's also good to see a defensive coordinator say, hey, this is his skill set. This is what he's great at. I can create packages and give guys a spiel, right? I mean, because these guys shouldn't be on the bench. Let's find packages and let's find ways. Also, Devin Sanchez, got to see him out there, man. Let him get some reps in a big time game. Yeah. And again, with that experience growing by middle of the season, should be good.
Like staying on CJ Hicks for a second here, I thought it was really cool to see him force the issue on that basically I won't call it the game-winning play, but the play that it was 4th down. He cemented it for the Buckeyes. And he got that pressure off the left edge, man. And I'm just like, I'm proud of him, bro. I'm really proud of him because you came in, you're the number one linebacker in the nation out of high school. You're from the state of Ohio. And you want to play edge, you thought you should be there. I actually, after his sophomore season, like I was talking about my boy Bryce on Scar and Blue Show, I said he needs to be an edge player. He's a freak athlete. I don't know if he's a Mike, but he should definitely be on the edge. And we all remember, him that post game and him coming to the place. I should be on the fucking edge. We all remember that.
Yeah.
And Jim Knowles didn't really. Listen, man, this isn't a bash Jim Knowles show, but I mean, no one's above reproach.
It's just, how is a guy who, I mean, were we really sitting there believing like, oh, he doesn't know football? That was all Belichick and he learned nothing. Like, are we really that slow? That was just the biggest thing. And then, are you really going to tell me a guy who has won multiple Super Bowls or whatever cannot scheme up for college?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, that's the thing, man. A lot of people just want to talk surface. A lot of stuff is just trolls, man. But right here, we just gonna stick to the ball, man. We know it. And I mean, you talking about like a guy like Wink Martindale, what he did when he came to the college ranks. Jeff Hafley wasn't even a DC. He was an analyst. So what he did at Ohio State got him a head coaching job or whatever at BC, and then he was able to translate that into being a DC in the NFL. I mean, we see with these NFL guys when they come to college what they do, man. Great hire by Ryan Day, like you said.
Hey, so shout out to Sean Garner over the 10. Says 5 wins over 5 top 10 teams and 5 I gotta reread that, man. 5 wins over 5 top 10 teams in 5 games. 4 of them against top 5. That will never, ever be matched. RIP the Ryan Day big game narrative. Go Bucks.
Facts.
Mike, speak on that real quick.
I mean, it's facts. And if anybody's been following me for the longest, the one thing that I have stood on is that Ryan Day is a young head coach who's learning on the biggest stage. So his mistakes will be magnified, where Urban got to go to a Bowling Green and a Utah, and Nick Saban got to go to a Michigan State, and I think he had another stop before then. But, I mean, this is what I tried to tell people, man, and now it just seems like Ryan Day is starting to settle into himself. And like we said, there's a different look in his eye.
Yeah.
I mean, and also, everybody was wondering, how can his defense be better? How can his defense be better? How can his defense match last year's? We do got to, work on the run defense, but I think it still has the opportunity. I think what Matt P was like, hey, we'll let you run it, but you're not beating us throwing the ball.
Right. And I think that, real quick, like to Ryan Day, he's a great coach.
Elite.
He's elite. And the game is still the game, and you got to win that game. Make no mistakes about it. But it's not as though the rest of those games don't matter. Ryan Day has been one of the coaches that have come over the last, let's say, 8 years, right? He has been of the upper echelon. And I think that he's cementing himself as that type of guy. And, because a lot of people hold Sark in a high regard. He owns Sark now. He owns him. That's a fact. Another coach, Marcus Freeman. Marcus Freeman is one of the best coaches in college football right now. He owns Marcus Freeman. Him and Dabo's still one of the greatest coaches of all time, but he is 1-1 against him. He's got a listen, man. I gotta get that Georgia game back eventually. But no,
facts.
I gotta get that.
Hey, like I told Georgia fans not last week, earlier this week, I told them we was wanting y'all, but y'all was too soft to make it. So that ain't on us, man. But I also want to give a shout out to our top 5 fans on YouTube, man. Shout out Sean Garner at number 1. At number 2, we got our guy Don B. At number 3, Abdul. At number 4, Day 1K. And at number 5, we got Daniel Henry. So we appreciate all of you all. Go ahead, keep on going in the chat, man. We appreciate you all. Keep the chat live.
Before we continue, Mike, man, let's do some housekeeping here. Message here from the voice of college football. Get your business, product, service, or personal brand to the next level by partnering with the voice of college football. And let's discuss how you also can reach your target market. The Voice of College Football is a growing network with a large following. So let's find out how we can help you grow with us. Check out the experience of one of our current partners, that being Win Agency, posted here on the screen. And just like our community, we are here to deliver for you. Contact us at sponsorships at vocfb.com. Again, that is sponsorships at vocfb.com today. We shoot, Mike, man. Hey, we got a long time caller here, long time advocate here of the Ohio State channel, man. Let's bring up David, Dr. Buckeye.
Yes,
man.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey,
what's going on?
I gotta say this. I was off a little bit. I was saying 20-17, and this game could have gone either way. Let's be fair; it could have gone either way.
I couldn't tell.
But I just gotta say, give me every Glenville dude in the history of Glenville dudes back, dude. I'm telling you, Jermaine Matthews, Arvell Reese. Come on now. I know my OG there knows about that. Think about all the ballers that have come through that school to Ohio State. And I think Reese and Matthews are those dudes, man. I just got to say that. I don't know if you guys have gotten to that already, but I'm going to let you guys go on that. What do you guys think?
Talk about what you want to talk about. Give us what did you think about the game?
Well, number one, I went into the season, and I think I said I thought this could be the best back 7 in the country. I really did. I mean, I liked Arvell. I liked Sonny. I liked our secondary. I was a little bit concerned about the depth on the D-line. I think that, Kenyatta getting knocked out may have cost us a little bit of pass rush there at the end of the game. We could have used him coming off the edge a little bit there late. But I understand the offensive game plan. To a certain extent. Brian Hartline played a very dangerous game kind of there for a little bit, I got to say. But I do think Julian Sain is only going to get better. I have to say that. He is only going to get better. I think the growth is there. I think he's confident in the pocket. And I think he's going to get better. He was hurt. What did you guys count today? Was there 4 or 5 drops out there today? I don't know. Did you guys keep a number on that?
I think it was about 4 or 5. Yeah. I mean, JJ had 2 of them.
Yeah.
JJ had at least 2. BI had 1. Mm-hmm. And then Claire had 1. Yeah. So at least 4.
And Mike, just so you know, David, we talked about this. We did it. We're at an X Space at halftime, and Mike, this was brought up. If the wide receiver unit played the worst today, I will take that. I will take that.
Well, other than Tate, that was redemption there a little bit. We had a little redemption there.
Something funny. So I was with a bunch of friends and my family watching that game.
Yeah.
And on that drive, he had a really good block on the left side.
Yeah.
And I looked at everybody and I said, he's getting the ball at some point. No block, no rock.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about the running back situation? You think that we maybe rotate in some Bo Jackson here as time moves along? I mean, I got to see a little bit more out of our ground game. Now, I'm going to give credit to where credit is due. I think the Texas front 7 is legit. I think it's going to be one of the better ones in America, maybe the best one we face the entire year. I know Penn State's got a pretty good D-line coming back, but I think they're going to be up there as far as one of the better groups that we face the entire season. So, I mean, credit where credit's due, but I don't know. I just wish that maybe we had a different running back in there, maybe rotate a different guy in there. You guys got some thoughts?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, one thing that you know about Carlos Lachlan is he's going to play the best guy, right? But in this type of game, you want guys who got experience, guys who understand the playbook. And right now, you don't want to, you already got a first-time starting quarterback out there. It would be kind of hard to have a true freshman running back there as well. One thing that we have to understand is, does Bo Jackson understand picking up pressure?
Yeah, it's a good point.
I do believe like it's kind of unfair judging the running backs right now when I feel like we were very vanilla in the run game. I feel like we can get more creative. I feel like a couple times we showed that creativity and you could see, like the hole open up and things like that. But I do believe with these next couple games that Bo Jackson could possibly prove himself with this offensive line. And if he's able to prove himself that, hey, no matter how the offensive line is blocking, I can still make plays, he can move himself up the depth chart because like Coach Locke say, nothing's given. It's earned every week.
No, I feel you. I think that we need to maybe get another back into the rotation as we get into conference play. I think that's going to be big for us, to have one other guy within the rotation. I still like to see the tight end get a little bit more involved. It was good to see Claire kind of bounce back, have a couple catches after that drop pass on the fourth down. I'm optimistic about this offense going forward. I know this is as good a defense as we're going to play the entire year. There were a few drops in there that probably hurt Julian for sure. And but overall, I will say this. I said this to my dad watching the game. If you look at most of his passes, they were in the strike zone. And that's what I look at when I watch a quarterback. Where's the ball placement at? Are the passes in the strike zone? To borrow a baseball term, and a lot of the stuff was on people's hands. I was not seeing that from Arch. I got to say, he was dirting some stuff. There were some high throws. I mean, now he mixed in some good ones late to get them back in it. I will give him that. And he probably, I don't know, did Iggy break up that one in the end zone, or was that a drop on that touchdown when it was 14?
Touchdown. Touchdown. Real quick to one of your points. To the running back point. I do think, like throughout the season, I think it's gonna be a running back by committee.
Okay.
And I think that I had a hot take. I think that I said James would average over 6 yards a carry because I think he has it in him. I really believe he has it, but he's got to read the holes better. He has to. I thought that the offensive line did a good job on the ground, I thought Texas did a good job defensively, but I thought that CJ was without a doubt better than him today. Like, it wasn't even close. And I think that throughout the season, if James doesn't get better, you're going to see more Bo. And I think we should have saw Bo today, to be honest with you, because there was a point where we were putting James in the game, and I'm like, and he had a couple good runs, like maybe two,
right?
But I expect more out of him.
Yeah, I'm feeling what dude's saying. I mean, the pass pro could be a thing. Remember that I always was a fan of Dallin Hayden. We had Dallin Hayden a couple years ago, but what were they talking about? He had pass pro issues, and that was kind of holding him back from hitting the field and getting more carries when I thought there was a chance for him to get a few more carries a couple years ago. But overall, I mean, obviously a lot of what I liked about this team definitely came through in this game, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. I think that the only thing with the defense is maybe depth on the D-line was the one concern that people have. I do think Stewart and McDonald inside are going to be really good, over the course of the year. I mean, they're going to be as good or better than Tyleek or Hamilton were last year. What do you think? Maybe even better.
I'm not gonna go too far on the Tyleek, bro. Tyleek was a dog. Yeah,
Tyleek was good. Tyleek was
a
That's
dog.
A first round pick.
Also, there was there was a couple tackles like K-Mac should have had and stuff that Tyleek would have made.
Okay.
So I mean,
maybe I went too far.
Look,
I'm sorry.
Look, trust me, I'm one of the
Yeah.
biggest K-Mac homers, like one of the biggest fans of his. You know, I actually have a friend who actually knows the K-Mac, K-Mac's family, so
Okay.
really well. So I mean, I here's my thing is you have to give credit to Texas, what they recruit, what they have.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I know a lot of people are worried about this, but I just feel like over time, we're not going to see no D-line, I don't believe,
No.
or no O-line this good until we go up against Penn State.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
100%.
So what I'm saying is what I saw out of our team, and then the way, we at the end, you can kind of see we wear it on them a little bit.
Yeah.
Lets me know we got the stamina that we can wear on teams, and that we'll be fine going forward. And especially, like I said, if our wide receivers are catching the ball. I mean, I said this earlier before you got in here, but I really feel like this game could have been 21-0.
Hey guys, real quick, because Daniel Henry just gave the post of the night.
What's up?
I wish Ryan Day did this.
What's up?
Where is Paul Feinbaum right
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, can I up that one though?
Oh, please do it.
I'm up that one. Chimdi Chekwa called out that loser Portnoy online before the game too. I want to give a shout out to Chimdi, for calling out that. Oh man, you don't want to get me started on that one. But that as bad as you think Feinbaum is, you know what I mean?
Well, but I mean,
he speaking of Chim, I
was going to say real quick, Mike. He said Arch was the best quarterback in the SEC.
Oh yeah,
Tim Tebow, as if Cam Newton didn't play.
Or Joe Burrow, maybe this Joe Burrow guy. I don't know if you heard of him.
Yeah, he said that we were. He is like with saying it without saying it. He said that Ohio State was going to get blown out.
Yeah, he did. He said it was not even going to be close. Yeah. Good. Yeah.
But speaking of Chimney, I'll tell you this, right? Because you could have expected a penalty a game from Iggy, right?
Yes.
But in this offseason, we saw Chimney around the DBs a little bit more this offseason than I felt like he's been around previous seasons. And one thing that he said is just give me a couple weeks to work with Iggy and I can get that cleaned up. He said, I feel like Iggy has the same kind of issues that I had.
Yeah.
And I mean, to be honest, bro, did Iggy not play a good game? I know.
He did.
Even it was a first down, and I was like, oh, good job, Iggy. And someone was like, they got the first down. Why are you saying he got a good job? Because of the way that he came up with the physicality and hit the guy. Not every wide receiver is going to hold on to that ball getting hit like that by a DB.
Well, I'll say this. I was waiting for one, though. I was waiting for, is he going to have a grab or is he going to have just because last year, last couple of years, I should say, it was always like inevitable. I thought, he was going to get one, maybe even two a game, And, he was awesome. The entire secondary was great today. I thought Jermaine was great today. I thought Styles, even Lorenzo back there, was making some plays. Like I said, the back seven of this defense, when we look at our backers and we look at our secondary, is as good as I've seen in like a while. You know what I mean? We had the best safety, best defensive player. I think our corners are going to be probably better than they were last year. I believe that.
Oh, facts.
So, and then come on, Reese and Styles. At linebacker. Come on now.
That's what I'm saying.
Reese is so good.
He is. He's just, dude. He's just a dude. That's what I'm saying. He was the best linebacker early in the season last year. A lot of people thought he was already playing better than Sonny in the crew last year, and Cody even. Now Cody came on. I thought Sonny improved towards the end of last year and started to play good football. So, but yeah, guy's an NFL dude for sure, and I think we're fine. I would like to see, maybe Curry or Kenyatta eventually emerge a little bit more with the pressure on the edge, but that would be probably like the last thing I would look for this defense to be totally complete.
Hey, I mean, just to point this out, who was the best player right now today on game pressure?
You got me. I'm sorry. Who was it?
Arvell.
Was it Arvell?
I would say Arvell, and then I would say Hicks.
CJ did make the play of the game. That was the play of the game at the end, right?
Somewhat. He was part of it. Yeah.
I think he earned more playing time today.
Yeah.
I think he did too. And I think that we're going to see more of him, man. I just, like Matt Patricia said, it's all dependent on who we are going up against, man. And, you brought up Lorenzo Styles, and a lot of people were worried about Lorenzo, but the young man was making plays all over the field. So I definitely got to give him a shout out to him. Let's see if he can be consistent, because if he is, that's going to be amazing. And we heard about how Bryce West was clicking on his heels. And, I mean, he played it so well, I don't even think that they had to bring Bryce out there. So, I mean, it just lets you know the depth that we have, that everybody was saying, oh, you guys lost so much. And we tried to tell these people. I'm like, the depth piece that we have on this team is what y'all think is starting. These guys are juniors and seniors. Right? Like, what are we talking about?
Hey, is this the new nickname, Master P?
I like it. I can roll with it. I can roll with it.
I like it, man. Matt P had me turned up, bro. And that was just one of my biggest things was get me off the field. And Matt Patricia did that. So
I thought the game flipped on that goal line stand. I really do. I think that goal line stand just totally flipped the game. Maybe the pick, because obviously they did get the stop and they got the ball back in good field position, but like that flip of plays by the defense right there. And then we go down, Cardinal makes the great catch, and it's 14-0. I knew we were in good shape. Now we had to sweat it. We did have to sweat it a little bit, Yeah, good
Daniel,
call.
Let me ask you this. Yeah. So this really amazed me. We have a new quarterback, freshman quarterback technically, basically a freshman play caller, offensive coordinator. Ohio State goes 213 yards and wins a football game.
Yeah, got outgained by fair. Was 100-something yards.
Then I ask you this.
Yep.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how frightening do you think this Ohio State team is?
Oh, I think it's approaching a 9, maybe, it could be even, that level, because I think that what's going to happen is I think Sane is going to get better. I don't think he's going to get worse. I think he's going to show growth. I'm not worried about a Kyle McCord situation in any way, shape, or form here. And McCord had his moments a couple of years, but he just have the consistency. I think Sane's going to be fine. I just like the way he looks in the pocket. I like the accuracy. Like I said, most of the throws today were right there. I mean, I would love to see if he wasn't victimized by those drops. I think he would be, the numbers would look better, and we would look better on the scoreboard for sure. But the only component, like I would say, guys, we just need a little bit of balance. We just need a little bit of running game to help him out a little bit. I mean, we were blessed last year. To be fair, we had the best pair of running backs on one team in the country. We were blessed. So, I mean, the Henderson-Judkins combination was that good last year. So, I think we have a few games to get some things worked out. But I mean, I still want a little bit more. I want to see a little bit more from the run game. I know it was a great front seven today, but I want to see a little bit more from that. If we can kick it to that level, then I think we become a really complete football team. That's my bottom line look on it. What do you guys think?
Me personally, I think the run game has to get better.
Yeah.
I think Julian will be fine as the season goes on. I don't think the wide receivers did him any help, which is crazy to say, but because I thought they would be the help, right?
Sure.
But overall, I have a lot of confidence in this team. At the last week of November, I think Brian Hartline in this offense will be fine.
Okay. That's the most important thing. That's what I wanted to hear you say, Garrison.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to hear you say,
I think it'll
Garrison.
be fine.
I want this team to be clicking come November for obvious reasons.
One more thing, though.
For obvious reasons, gentlemen.
I gotta see who's behind. All right.
Go ahead.
This was one of those games where we didn't rotate our D line a lot. At the edge, we did.
Yeah.
I gotta see who's behind K-Mac and Edge.
That's it. Well, people talked about that the whole offseason. I think that was the one thing is depth. Because remember, we were rolling these guys in with Sawyer and JTT and Tyleek and Hamilton last year. So, the wonder is, okay, we can see what we kind of saw that these guys were capable last year when they rolled in last year. But who are the guys behind these guys that are going to roll in this year? And how capable are they going to be? Because I think the one thing that teams will try to do against us in this defense a little bit, and Texas, I thought, would just stick to the ground. Because I think their two best players were Baxter and Wisner. Their two backs. Mm-hmm. I don't know what you guys thought, but I thought those were their two offensive players that looked pretty good in the game, especially Wisner. Yeah. But I think that's what, once we get into Big Ten and we face some teams that just try to run the rock at us, that's where I'm a little bit curious. And what you think?
By the way, there was one pass Sand had today. It was in the first half, I believe. That was really impressive. It was on a third down to Max Clare.
Yes.
Where it looked like a questionable pass between three guys, but he got it in there.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of trust in Julian Sand. I really do. And I think one thing we should all remember, when Ryan Day, they asked Ryan Day, they asked him, he just gave it up and said this, but when they were talking about why he chose Julian as a starting quarterback, he said that over the last week beforehand, he said he was met with a lot of pressure in practice from the D-line, and he made the right decisions. Mm. And today, there were throws where Julian got the ball away. There was one that I think it was Jeremiah's second drop, where Julian had a lot. He had pressure in his face. Thank goodness he has that quick release. He got rid of it fast. He got the ball there. He makes the right decisions. He's a very smart quarterback, and I think that I think I said this maybe last week. One thing I think Ryan Day has settled into is that, and don't get me wrong, it's nice to have Dwayne Haskins. It's nice to have Justin Fields. It's nice to have C.J. Stroud. Mm. I think Ryan Day understands that he don't need that.
Well, I mean, I think Saint's going to grow. What do you think about the one thing about the quarterback running a little bit more, and maybe? The criticism is that maybe we need our quarterbacks to, because remember that was like a CJ criticism a few years back, is that there were some situations where he could have ran the ball, he didn't run the ball, and you think that's a little overblown, or what do you guys think of that?
The CJ situation was Ryan Day did not want him to run past the line of scrimmage. Like there's no, like, Ryan Day already, like, I tried to tell everybody all season, everybody fought against me. Yeah. And everything, and then Ryan Day, and then Ryan Day went on the dang on draft show the day before the draft, and then when they asked him, why did you wait to Georgia to see it, and he said, if CJ had ran the ball and got hurt, it would have changed the trajectory of our season, which should have told us what we should have been expecting from Kyle McCord. But
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. And once you know the day he utilized his legs, big man, was the best game maybe I've ever seen a Buckeye quarterback ever have. I mean, it was his greatest game.
Yep.
Yeah. By the way, you're right about that, Jordy. We kicked their ass that game. They know that Marvin got lucky to get knocked out of that game, by the way. If Marvin doesn't get knocked out of that game, we were going to win going away. I got to say that.
Hey, guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to the restroom.
Okay. Yeah, we had him though. We were going to run away in that game.
Yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is. I know. Hey, we gotta keep it moving forward. As Caleb Downs, the captain, said, we got business to take care of now, and that's exactly what the Buckeyes went ahead and did.
Yeah.
I was expecting to see a little bit better out of our punting. I don't know about you all, how y'all feel about special teams, but I felt like the punting could have been a bit better. You know, Texas was setting us up with field position and pinning us down inside like the 20 and things like that at times. I felt like, you know, we should be able to do that as well. You know, and then the ball just kept selling out to the left every time. I don't know if that's something that they were trying to do, but I'll tell you this. Texas kept getting that short field,
right,
and our defense just kept showing up, which I just can't stop talking about this defense, bro.
Oh, I agree.
That's where it's at. Like the fact that they kept getting the short field, and Ryan Day also, he still put all of the faith in the defense at the end of the game because he was still being conservative.
Right.
Didn't want to throw the ball. He said he didn't want to put sand in there. And so he knew he'd probably give them a short field.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they didn't, but I mean, just the fact that he's willing to put the game in the defense hands, I mean, it just goes to show you guys.
Just a couple things real quick. I just will defend the Heartline a little bit on the play calling. There was a couple times, to your point, on the field position where they were backed up. You know what I mean? Where they were backed up on the field position. And I think they were trying to be safe because they were backed up inside the 5. And I think that was also a little bit of reason. Because if you notice, obviously they were waiting to cross the 50 to take that shot down the field to take, which was smart. You know, I mean, you had to at that point. So.
Yeah. Well,
hey, everybody,
all right, man.
Before we continue, everybody, do have to do another message here from the voice of college football.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the voice of college football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the voice of college football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select a betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, man, any lasting thoughts of the game?
No, great win. I do wonder if that makes us number one. We'll see. I have maintained what I've said about this team. We're only going to grow. We're only going to get better. And I want to give a solid shout out, OH, my friend. And I'm sure I'll be talking to you soon, Garrison. Good show, man.
Hey, thank you, man. Have a good night. Have a good day, actually. Thank you. All right, everybody. Well, again, everybody, that is Ohio State 14, Horns down 7, and it's a lucky 7. We should have shut them out. Mike, man, what did you take from this game overall, and what do you want to see next week?
That when things get tough, that Carnell Tate always steps up, man. I know a lot of people want to downplay Carnell Tate, but again, he is our leading receiver in this Texas game for the second straight time as well. Shout out to JJ. He had 6 catches for 43 yards. And if he didn't have a couple drops, he'd have had more. So, I mean, shout out to JJ as well. Max Clare got 11 yards. He could have had a little bit more in the receiving game, but, you know, he had that drop. And, you know, you were talking earlier about, you know, JJ was open for the touchdown. And here's the thing. I didn't hate what Julian did because he's a young first-time quarterback. I know a lot of people was like, oh, he had JJ for the touchdown. I don't hate what he did because he threw a beautiful ball to a tight end that should have caught the ball flat out. I mean, and here's the thing. It's his first game. You guys was expecting him to just read the whole defense and stuff like he just been out here in college football for like 3 years, bro. Like, no, we have a young quarterback. So as long as he's not making bad decisions, I'm not upset with it. And it wasn't a bad decision. So shout out to Julian Sandman. And again, I say your defensive players of the games is either in between David Igbinosun, Arvell Reese, or Jermaine Matthews. It's just about what do you value more? Do you value the tackles, the sacks, the interception? What do you value?
Well, I'm gonna start with what you talked about, Carnell Tate. This is the second time in a row where Texas. You thought taking away JJ was gonna save you from Carnell Tate, and it didn't. Carnell Tate has been one of the more disrespected players in college football for the last couple of years, especially coming into this season with Emeka gone. Again, another guy that I'm just very proud of. I know you are, Mike. You know, anybody, if you know Carnell Tate's story, you'll know why we're so proud of him. I think that, you know, did Ohio State go out there and get a bunch of sacks? No, but they made Arch very uncomfortable. And you know, Mike, I posted a video earlier this week with my 5 reasons why Ohio State would win, and my 5th point was the shoe, and that place was rocking.
For sure.
And everybody, you know, they talked about, you know, Sark, you know, he's had more starts than Julian, he's had more throws than Julian. Mississippi State, University of Louisiana Monroe. That's not Ohio State.
Right.
And for all intents and purposes, Julian Sand outplayed him. He was smarter than him. He made the better decisions.
So who's the better quarterback developer, Ryan Day or Sark?
And that's what I was about to get to, Mike. That's what I was just about to get to.
Oh, man.
At the end of the day, and you know, not Lincoln Keno's, but Lincoln Riley's kind of falling off. Riley, I've said this before, I'm gonna say it again. I know you feel the same way like most Buckeyes. When it comes to quarterback, I am going to have blind faith in Ryan Day because he deserves it. Brian Hartline, great job. You won the game. You won. You know, because you could have easily, this game, you know, we never know how games are going to go, but this game maybe it could have been a shootout, right? And we could have gone for 500 yards and lost this game. What Brian Hartline did was he played the long game. He did that today. He played the long game.
I mean, Brian Hartline and Ryan Day put Julian Sand on the leash. You know, they didn't want anything to be Julian Sand's fault at all. Mm-hmm. But you like you said, there was opportunities to where they didn't have to play it safe, and I think Julian Sand would have been fine, right? You know,
yes, Mike.
I mean, which just is, to me, it's scary. It's really scary because you have no idea, like, what this, like, me just thinking about it. And I know a lot of people are being hard on Brian Hartline and the play calling. I mean, I was too, but it's the first game and we were able to be vanilla and do what we did. And
extra vanilla.
Like, come on, guys. Like, we could not be upset. We were able to be vanilla and won that game, bro. I just think that goes to show to our coaching, our development, and 2 years ago, before we won the national championship game, Sark was one of the coaches that they put ahead of Ryan Day, and now Ryan Day is 2-0 versus him.
And the last thing I'll say again, man, Matt Patricia. And so I'll leave it at that, Matt Patricia.
All right, Garrison. Well, before you leave it at that, and before we get out of here,
Yes, sir.
I need your offensive MVP and then your defensive MVP.
Offensive MVP. My offensive MVP, I'm actually going to give it to CJ Donaldson.
I like that.
I like how he pass pro'd, which is one of my biggest concerns with having new running backs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also going to give it to him because of what he did coming into the season, losing all that weight, preparing himself for a game like this. I like the way he ran hard. He got stronger as the game went on, actually.
Facts.
So, yeah, CJ Donaldson for offense. Defensively, this is a tough one because I feel like there's three guys that deserve it between Jermaine, Reese, and K-Mac. I'm gonna be biased as all get out. I'm giving it to Jermaine because this is something that has been coming down the pipeline for some years. We have been waiting, and we felt this way about a lot of guys on the defense, like Kenyatta, like guys like Caden Curry, who whenever he touched the field, he made plays.
Yeah,
I do remind people that Caden Curry last year saved us from giving up a punt return onto Texas for a touchdown. But in this game, though, on top of just locking down that side of the field, he gave up that touchdown. He's a corner, bro. We give up. I played corner before. We give up touchdowns. It happens.
Facts.
Unless your name is Igbedosin last year, but but Jermaine, that interception was so pivotal because I thought that was a time when Texas found like they were starting to move the ball a little bit, but then we got to the third down, and Sark wanted to pass that ball. And he made a good jump on it. He was tight coverage. He did a great job. That the would-be interception by Sonny, he's the one that tipped it for that to happen. I really like what Jermaine did, and I feel as though whoever your wide receiver one is, I don't care what side of the field they're on, but I feel like if your wide receiver one is on Jermaine, he's out the game. Yeah. So yeah, CJ Donaldson and Jermaine Matthews. How about you, Mike?
So on the defensive side of the ball, I got to go to Arvell Reese, man. First time out there starting in a big game. And, he made a couple mistakes, but he just kept going out there and just, being effective. And, everybody was, Sonny Styles. And then, you see all of these linebacker lists and it's Sonny Styles and a group of other guys. And you like, I'm sitting here like, I feel like there's somebody is missing. And then you start seeing the tweets from NFL guys talking about the scouts are raving about what they're seeing from Arvell Reese already. I mean, so shout out to Arvell Reese. And then on the offensive side, I'm going to give it to my guy Tate, man. Carnell Tate. Here's the thing.
Good timing.
When you go out there as a veteran wide receiver and you got a young quarterback, and those throws aren't going to be perfect, you still supposed to come down with it. Reminds me of Cardell Jones. His throws down the field weren't always perfect, but Devin Smith made them look perfect, and that's exactly what he did catching that touchdown pass, man. So shout out to Carnell Tate, putting us on the board, putting us ahead, and, again, being our leading wide receiver in this game, man. So shout out Carnell Tate.
Well, man, again, everybody, Mike and I appreciate you for showing up here at the Voice of Ohio State at the Voice of College Football. Again, listen, we'll be here every Saturday after the game. There might be some days because Garrison sometimes got to work, but Mike will be here with you doing what he does, carrying the show, carrying the platform, carrying the network and the channel as we appreciate him doing. Again, Ohio State 14, Texas 7. Again, if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you would like to become a member, please hit that join button where you can check out our tiers, that being the Block O Club. JT wasn't sure because we know he wasn't. And then also, we don't give a damn, and you know the rest. Man. We beat
It's
Texas.
good to
again.
be a Buckeye, man.
Hey, Mike.
It was good. Hey, apparently, if we was to play in the SEC, we would lose 3 to 4 games. So I'm asking for a friend. Is Texas losing 3 to 4 games this year?
Hey. And I haven't checked yet, Mike, but I'm going to eventually. Those Texas spaces better be open.
Oh, as soon as we get out of here, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that, man? Yeah, what's wrong over there?
Hey, man. Hey, as Mike said, lies were told, but the Buckeyes pulled it out at the end of the day. And as always, OH.
Ayo.